welcome to the road trip. I should have at least one guest, maybe two. We'll see how this plays out. You never know. You never know. It is the road trip. I I let people know what's going on, and if they can join, they'll join. But I should have at least one I know of, and maybe a couple more. We'll see. But everybody, welcome to the show. I am DWTT Gary. To my friends, welcome to the show. It is week 35. Yes. After this weekend, there'll be 3 games left for most teams, some teams with an extra one. And trophy's still in, nothing's been claimed yet in terms of the league. So we shall see how that all plays out. Looks like these games have already started. I'm like minutes behind. I think the live games and the streams are just so far off, right? It's at least like 2 or 3 minutes, which sucks sometimes. But yes, we are here. Should we go through the scores? Let's see. Well, as you can see, it's just me right now. Mr. Tom has not joined me, and that's probably a reason for that. Friday. Friday was not a good day. Not a good day at all. But you'll know it when he joins. Leeds went to QPR for what, should have been, Leeds trying to get some points. Oh, wait, Mr. Tom looks like he might be joining us. So I don't even have to. I'll let him explain a little bit about what he saw on Friday, because he's going to want to say something about it. And but anyways, let's bring him in. Welcome to the stage. Welcome to the stage. It's the man, the myth, the wee man, the master of the dungeon, the I hate everybody else but Leeds, Mr. Tom. Mr. Tom, how are you doing, sir?
I've barely been able to talk for a day because it turns out that trying to manage Tony for 4 hours will destroy your voice.
I thought I've been trying to tell you, stop even like communicating with that guy. I've been trying to tell you it's not good for your health. Just like the fact that you keep saying his name, that's right there. That's where it starts, and it just goes downhill from there. It doesn't even get better. It's not like, nah.
I can't disagree. I'm just yeah. So obviously, I don't know if you saw, but I notified Lolo that I couldn't do the trip last night. I wouldn't have been able to. Even if Leeds had won, I wouldn't have been able to go on there. I'd have had to have. I did toy with the idea of like making cue cards and then just going.
But they would have been the same thing. Some F word and probably lead somewhere soon after.
Yeah.
It probably would have been, and it would have been another F word, which would have rhymed with foosball, basically, yeah. That's probably also what we got our first guest of the evening, at least the morning for me, the afternoon for you. Chris Nix joins us. He's probably happy and sad. How does that work?
Mixed emotions, I'd say.
Yeah, happy and sad, mixed emotions. He doesn't know if he's up or down right now. Is he a West Ham fan who likes Liverpool, or is he a West Ham ticket holder who really is a Liverpool fan, or is he a Liverpool fan who just happens to have tickets to West Ham, or is he just some guy who's confused?
I think he likes watching football. If you watch a certain team every week, you will probably rather them win while you're watching them every week. I'd imagine.
Very true. Very true.
It's probably a nicer experience.
That is true. Yeah, but when both of your teams are playing each other, how does that work? Because you're going to be sad no matter what happens. Even a draw doesn't help either team. They both really want wins.
Well, Mr. Nix has gone into detail on what he thinks. So,
yeah, he's not happy with the result, and of course, with what's going on, his team he doesn't want Arsenal to win. I get that. He hates Arsenal more than Liverpool and West Ham. Oh wait, more than I love Liverpool and West Ham. All right. All right, and you know what, people? Welcome to the stage. Welcome to the stage. It's Sam, the Norwegian goddess, vampire.
Goddess.
Yes, goddess. He's Sam's goddess.
Okay. Okay.
Green goddess.
No, just wondered if that's what you said.
No, I said what I said.
Fine.
I said
That's fine.
I know what I'm talking about. He's a
fine.
some others, maybe something else. But welcome to the stage. Welcome to the stage. We got Mr. I should say Mr. Sam from the Greenwoods. Welcome to the stage, Mr. Sam Greenwood. How you doing? We got a goal already early in this game.
Hello, Mr. Greenwood.
Guess who's losing?
Hello, everybody.
Hey. Sorry about that, Sam. But when you come on, goals are scored, and I have to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
I know you do because you're fucking ignorant.
Is that that's rude? That's dude. Come on, just come on and tell me how you feel about me right now. Damn it, dude. Sheffield,
no, you can't just wait 2 seconds. Like, you can't wait 2 seconds. Like, hi Sam, how you doing? Oh, great, thanks. Yeah, you can't wait 2 seconds. Like, oh, Sheffield United just scored. Fuck you.
I didn't say that, but maybe I need to so you understand how this thing works. I didn't say it. I didn't even think it. But Sam, how are you doing?
Kind of on Sam's side.
Has anyone scored? Can I talk?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right, thank you. Thank you for having me as usual. I am your humble servant. I am but your humble servant. Thank you, everybody. Good to see everyone in the chat. Hope you're all well today.
Cool. Yes, as you said, Sheffield United has just scored in the first 5 minutes of a match at Newcastle. I don't know. All it does is stop the pain for a bit, right?
Okay.
Even if they win, I guess.
Did you die?
You know, next week they're still going down, right? So, Ryan has joined us. Welcome to the show, Ryan. And he's showing his love or not for Chris, who would rather see somebody else win the big trophy. Does that mean he hates City less than he hates Arsenal? That's the question.
It seems that way.
Wow.
To be fair to him, I can understand why that might be the case, because many Arsenal fans are quite fucking insufferable.
I am not those guys, so why do I get the pain for the many?
Saying.
Right?
I don't recall saying
Sam, do you think we should feel pain from rivals because of others?
No pain.
Yeah, see, no pain. All right, we got Ozzy Gunner, Steve joined us. Welcome to the show. Yes.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Hey,
who are
I haven't seen him for a while.
Russ? Yeah. Yep. There you go, sir. Russ Morgan. Who are these guys? Who's he talking about?
That's a reference to a lot.
Who are these guys? I don't know. Russ is drunk as ever his tits as usual.
No, it's the WrestleMania Night 1 stream when the 2 American football players interfered, and we were all going, "Who are these guys?" And then, but Alonso was like repeatedly telling us, and we just
he's going through their life history and their stats and the Super Bowls they may have won or not.
Well, no, not that. But he just kept saying their names, and it was like, yeah, all right, we've heard the names, but you're not cottoning on to what's actually going on, like. We're just keeping on asking you because you're getting more angry and telling us the correct answer.
Alonso annoyed? That is surprising. That's never happened. I've never seen that before.
I did say to him that because you will be asked that for the rest of your life by this community, and your best bet is just make up 2 names every time. And on Thursday, he said those 2 guys were Alonso Spencer and Russ Morgan. So I was like, all right, you're learning.
Cool.
But yeah, that was a thing.
Cool. Stefan has joined us. I don't know if this is good or bad, but he's joined us. Welcome to the show, Stefan.
You never know, Stefan. You never know what you're going to get.
Oh, got a question for you.
That's a lie. You know exactly what you're going to get.
Well, I think Ryan is trying to stir the pot, Mr. Tom.
Nah, there's no need. There's absolutely no need. I'm going to sit here and categorically say congratulations on Leicester for winning the championship, or technically getting promoted, but probably will win the championship. And congratulations to Ipswich Town, because I can't see them losing 3 games in the week. We got our arse whooped last night. I've no excuses. The fact of the matter is, QPR beat the shit out of us, and that is that.
Yeah.
There's no other way I can spin it. I can't even sit here and go, oh, they low blocked us to death, because they didn't. They actually came out from minute 1 and bent us over. And that's what happened. Like, I don't know what everyone expects me to tell you, but that's it. Like, it'd be disingenuous of me to say anything else. Don't get me wrong, I'm still top. No, I know he wasn't. No, to be fair, Ryan, I didn't see it like that at all. But what I will say is I will still congratulate Leicester on cheating their way to the championship.
Always a caveat there, isn't there? Always, congratulations, but you're a bunch of cunts.
Yeah, but it's only what you're going to say if Man City win the title. So.
Is it?
Oh, I'm not going to congratulate them at all.
Yeah.
No, but because you feel they have cheated, right?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
There you go.
Yeah.
They pay Jamie Vardy 300 grand a week in the championship.
Does he get 300k a week?
Gets 300k a week, and they're going to extend his contract now they've been promoted. Yeah.
But they're going to get they're going to be suspended or points deducted or something like that?
The second they step foot in the Premier League, it will be points deductions galore.
Okay.
Oh, but they're going to buy Fatawu, so there is that.
So they still have money to burn, huh? I don't know what this means. Is this a dig?
He went on Jess Talks Football.
Oh, okay.
No, to be honest, Stefan, in between this will sound unbelievable, but in between the time that I finished the full Nelson and Leeds kicked off, I came down with a mysterious case of the sore throat, so I couldn't talk even if I wanted to. And I justified this by you try making Tony behave for 4 hours.
Yeah, that's where you went wrong.
Yeah,
so wrong.
100% went wrong. But yeah, like I'm not gonna do this thing. I'm not gonna swear everyone from that, because we should be made fun of because we were shit.
Yeah.
Dog shit. The fact of the matter is, QPR. Sorry, I'll put this another way. Sorry, I don't mean to get all statty with everyone, but the truth of the matter is, in the last week, we've conceded 7 goals out of an expected goal of 1. Should have been 1 goal conceded, actually conceded 7. That's why we're probably not going to be in the Premier League next year. On the grass, totally deserved.
Yeah. You know, it was weird looking. I mean, I watched the game while I was working. I was like, where is the Leeds team? Like, where'd they go? Like, the shirts look right. The names on the back of the shirt look right.
Those shirts are too heavy.
Oh, but everything about the way they played was almost like you should have picked another 11. These guys, not one of them looked like it's gonna work today. Like, what did you see in practice that you thought would translate to something not what we saw? Because none of it looked.
I've got to be careful though on like what I say about this, because like I say, I'm not going to sit here and act like we got robbed or that, because we didn't. The fact of the matter is, you generally don't lose 4-0 by accident. But that being said, the manager's going to get a lot of criticism this weekend. But the fact of the matter is, we got 90 points. And that I think the only team to ever get 90 points and not go up was in 1998. So, the Sunderland, when they lost to Charlton after drawing 4-4 in the playoff final. If you can see that match, Gary, you should. It's a fantastic contest. Went to penalties as well. Little Charlton beat Sunderland. Little Sunderland. Yeah. Anyway, silly me. But anyway, point is, all the targets he set, we achieved. Like you get your average of 3 points. You get over 2 points a game on average. Score over 75 goals, which we have. You just don't anticipate that 2 other teams are also going to get that point margin because they usually don't. Again, don't know what to tell you. But yeah, and Ryan's factually right. Goalkeeper got lobbed by header. And I damn near shit myself when I saw it.
Yeah, I don't. Did you actually have a goalkeeper? Because, I mean, either he was the one when it came off his hand. I'm like, dude, you got to be stronger than that.
That happened twice.
I saw the last one because that was basically the game was over at 1-0, kind of the way it was played out. They just happened to score 3 more goals, but yeah.
This will sound really silly, but the moment I knew it was going to be a bad night was in the first minute of the game when the goalkeeper gave away a throw-in when he didn't really need to. It was one of those, when you mistime your kick there was no reason for you to put yourself under that sort of pressure. And it was one that I sat there like, oh God, that Dr. Leeds has turned up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? That Dr. Leeds has been hovering, right? Like every points that you've dropped, you could say that's a Dr. Leeds moment right there. Right? I mean, teams that have no, they shouldn't be in the same room as you, right? Because they are not trying to they might be that some of them are not even trying to save themselves from relegation, but those that are safe, that's what QPR is doing, right? They're trying to save themselves from going down, and you guys look like a team that has resigned to the fact that you're going down, right?
We didn't look like a team yesterday, Gary. Our front line looked like 4 individuals, strangers. Well, apart from Nonto and Somerville, because they're obviously bum chums. Not to get homophobic when I say that. Just the fact of the matter is they are clearly good mates. But in my opinion, Peru up front, they don't trust him. They go out of their way to not give him the ball. Ironically, that's not the case when Patrick Bamford's on the pitch. They love giving the ball to Patrick Bamford because they're probably going to get the ball back. Because he's so afraid of scoring that he'll rather just get an assist. But anyway. Sorry, Stefan, what did you just say? But yeah, I'm just... Obviously, I'm disappointed and crushed and, all these adjectives and descriptions and stuff. But the fact of the matter is, you can't win 2 out of your last 8 games and then expect good things to happen. Yeah. Regardless of what happens with Leicester and Ipswich. It's just not good enough.
Very unfortunate, really. Really didn't see that coming, to be honest. Leicester were in such good form. Leeds were in such good form, playing quite well. Then all of a sudden it just turned, and it's just like it's the confidence has just gone straight out of them.
International break fucked us in that, and it's no one's fault. Ipswich didn't conspire to have Leeds players injured during the international break and things like this. This is what it's part.
No, but you're right.
I attempted that bait because I was making jokes about Arsenal players faking injury on the international breaks. They don't have to play, so then they do play on the Saturday. Whereas if we'd have done that, we'd have actually probably been better off because everyone came back injured apart from Dan James, who missed a penalty, which means his country won't be playing in June. So basically,
those international breaks.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, those international breaks do have a tendency to ruin a lot.
Yeah,
they do.
I was going to say, do you just think it's a cycle in the championship? I mean, we've seen Leicester, Ipswich, all go through these cycles. It just so happens yours happens to be at the worst possible moment because there's no games to make up. As you said, you got 3 games. That's it. So, To me, this sounds like it's just a championship cycle, because to be up for all 42 games, is that right? Did I have that
46,
right? 46 games
46.
To be up for 46 games. It's tough. It's tough. I think mentally, physically, it's not, and it looks more physical than anything. Like physically, it looks more mentally and physically challenged for the team right now. Like, he doesn't have the depth, right? And I know you guys said if even if come up, you probably could do with another 11 starters to come in, right? And that's the thing that sucks, is that you're like, dude, you couldn't wait. Give me a, give me what, like you said, it sounds like you had 11 game span where if we could just win at least 50% of them, you feel a little bit better, right? And now you're like,
if we won 4 out of the last 8, Gary, we'd be promoted.
Yeah.
That's the position we
bloody
put ourselves
shame.
in. Yeah.
I
know. Sorry, Sam. It's rude of me.
No, sorry, Tom. Go ahead. Finish your point. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Well, no, I just wanted to just say, like, I don't mean to sit here and talk like it's already done, because we could well win the playoffs, even though factually we've never won the playoffs. So that's partly why Leeds fans are reacting like it's not good, because plus the team that finishes third tends to not do well in it, because of the fact that Norwich, for example, are probably going to finish 6th based on the fact that they've had the late season surge of form to put yourself in it.
Yeah.
Whereas you don't finish third because you end the season well, generally speaking.
Yeah.
No, what I was just going to say earlier was...
Sorry, Sam. Go on.
No, I was just going to say, because when you see what Leeds have done basically since Christmas, that vein, that vein of form, that surge they went on, that they maintained for a long time, and they were just playing, really consistently, just grinding out those points, and they were catching up, both second and first place so well, and Leicester went on that complete Leicester just completely lost it, didn't they? That there was that period of time when they lose like 4 games in a row or something like that, and it was they just completely melted. And it just looked like Leeds that's it. Leeds is just going to surge all the way up now. And there was a point when Leeds were first, wasn't there? There was a week there where Leeds were...
International break.
Exactly. They were top of the table then. And just such a shame that international break came along and just sort of like reset it all and changed it all and sort of like said, okay, that's it. We're going to put a spanner in the works now. The football gods, as it were. And just such a shame, because Leeds were just looking so consistent, playing so well, so much heart. And it's just, like you say, after that international break, a couple of injuries, and everything just changed completely. It was such a shame, really, to see it. It's a bit strange as well, really, in my opinion, to see such a shift in, like, how should I put it? The commitment level, of the players from the games I've seen changed quite a lot. The commitment wasn't quite there all of a sudden when I was watching a couple of the games, and it came back. It would come back when you guys went like a goal or 2 down. Then the players would start really going for it. You could come back and maybe even win a game. But yeah, just that like level of commitment and energy level from the start seems to just completely wane off after the international break. It's just strange to see that could happen, and it's so unlucky, because you guys just looked like you were surging straight into the top 2 spots there.
No, for sure. I just want to say hi to Taib has joined us. Brownie's joined us. No,
like Steph said, just want to finish off by saying, like what Stefan has said, at the end of the day, there's still 2 games to go. I mean, don't count the chickens until they're hatched,
It's got 1 game left.
Yeah, but they've you can potentially, if you win that game, and if they lose 2, you can do it, can't you?
Well, technically, if Ipswich lost all 3 remaining games that they have, we would go up. But the reality of it is that they're in the top 3 for a reason, so they're probably going to get basically, if they get 5 points, or we can't catch them, because obviously Coventry played the cup semi-final, so that game got postponed.
Yeah.
So they're playing that in midweek, I believe. But I'm just, you know.
Yeah.
So hope that kills you. I won't be watching it. So
no.
Whatever.
No, I was just saying it's not over until it's mathematically over, is it? So
yeah.
But even though it's most likely not going to happen, but yeah, just hope it does. But those playoffs, I mean, it's going to be exciting with the playoffs, isn't it? Even though it's not the best scenario, but you'd rather have a playoff than not, though, wouldn't you, Tom?
I actually think they should petition the league so it's the top 3 that goes up automatically, instead of this playoff bollocks.
Yeah.
But no, in all seriousness, playoffs is great when you're not in it.
Obviously, it's that added tension, everything. We're not in it, and like you say, the likelihood of the third team winning the playoff and all that. But at the end of the day, you would rather be in the playoffs than not, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, but I have playoff trauma. That Leeds versus Derby match, which Colonel Wall still brings up. Speak of the prick, there he is. Hello, Colonel. He's probably logged in. Gone, wait, why is he calling me a prick already? I was like, deep down, But but the point is, the reality is those. No, but in all seriousness, that Leeds versus Derby match, it's my worst football match I've ever sat through. And I watched Leeds lose 4-0 yesterday. And that ain't the worst football match I've ever seen from Leeds.
I was shocked. I was shocked to see that result yesterday, to be honest. I haven't seen any of the game or any of the highlights, but I was shocked to see that result. I really was.
I haven't watched the highlights on the Leeds YouTube channel, but I hope it's a 4-second long video of this is the match kicking off, and that's what it finished.
Yeah.
Yep. So hi to Emerson. Welcome to the show. He says hi to everyone. Welcome to the show, Emerson.
At the Titanic in 10 seconds. This ship can't sink. The end.
Yep.
Yeah. This Oof. No, I was gonna also say, just as you were saying that finishing third is third, like right now, is as in you're backing up into the playoffs essentially. You know what I mean? Because that's essentially what you're doing. You're backing into it, and teams that are backing in continue to trend that way a lot of times. Like as a Dallas Cowboy fan, we have done that. We have backed into the playoffs, basically losing most games that we should get into the playoffs and then get destroyed. So I'm hoping you can break that trend. You know what I mean? Hope these guys can wake up a little bit, and maybe they needed yesterday to wake them up. Because in reality, say they do lose the next 2 matches, right? But you can see something in them, right? Their eyes don't look beat. You know what I mean? The team doesn't look beat. The other team is just, catching them at the right time. Because that's the only. That's what you need.
That shit.
Yeah.
If you are free.
Yeah.
You're a writer, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Sorry. I couldn't help myself. Deep down, Stefan understands.
Tom laying down the laws of grammar.
Yeah.
The grammar laws.
He can just claim it's autocorrect, right?
Yeah, he's like you say, he was cooking. He ain't paying full attention.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's called a joke where you say something with a hint of truth in it, but you don't necessarily mean it as vindictively as you deliver it.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, Gary.
Yeah, no, I saw this video. I don't know if you guys saw the video. Brownie coming out of the airport. Immigration or whatever, customs, I guess. He said it's been a bit tough for him mentally. So
as it
probably would. Huh? What'd you say, Sam?
He came through arrivals, didn't he?
Is that what
arrivals on that?
Okay. Yeah. So keep it up, Brownie, and it's going to be a bit of a time to get you all the way back. But yeah. What happened, Brownie? Oh boy. Okay, this guy This guy just needs to.
Hang on, no. Can I read
on
it?
the glue again.
Can I try and read it out loud?
All right, go on.
What happened, Brownie? Did you sing a riddle like diddly dee, diddly dum, and buy something to fiddle with your bum?
Curdle's on the glue again. He's on the glue. He's on the...
I thought I would mess it up, but apparently I did not.
No, you know what? That means you and him are one, even though you feel like you're on opposite ends of the spectrum. You're probably the same person. You don't even know it.
We're definitely not the same person.
He's on that super fix-it glue. He's in between gluing together his little Spitfire he got for his birthday.
Oh my god. Brownie liked it, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, big up Brownie.
Yep. Have fun at the game. Hopefully, it's a good one. Brownie really.
Yeah.
No, Brownie's a good person, right? We like listening to him chat. Yeah.
Good guy.
Yeah. Well, sorry to. Yeah. No. Like I said, somehow Fark's gonna have to, like you said, get these guys. They're gonna have to change something. I just think he needs to rotate the lineup just to get these guys in and out, because they're just out there doing the same thing over and over again. But you've seen what you saw yesterday. I believe you've seen towards the end of that game when the team scored late. Right? I think it was 1-1 or something like it, 1-0, and they scored right at the in the 80th minute plus or whatever. It looked just like that, but it was for 90 minutes yesterday. That's so he needs to change something up, and that might be personnel and Somerville, since you guys have said he was Champions League, one of the top players in the championship.
League Player of the Year.
Sorry.
Yeah, he was the Champions League Player of the Year.
You know what I mean? It's a Freudian slip. Stop.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, he was the Championship Player of the Year. But again, my issue with that is the season hasn't finished. So how can you be the Player of the Year?
Well, you said
the year hasn't ended.
You said the shirt is heavy, and maybe maybe that trophy or whatever he got for it was extra heavy on him.
It's long been my suspicion that the badge is heavy to wear for a second-tier club because of the pressure to get out of it. And people are going to say, oh, Tom, who do you think you are saying this? Like, oh, you think your team has got grand? No, I'm saying it because the perception is that we've got a fucking song about how we fall apart in April. It's a thing. And that doesn't happen by accident, does it? So obviously the pressure of playing for Leeds United and having the hopes of a lot of people, including Oscar winning in the year 2000 for Gladiator, Russell Crowe, because he's probably going to punch Somerville.
Punch him in the face.
Yeah, that reminded me of it.
He said scored for Newcastle.
Yeah, if you saw it was similar to the pass that Erdogan put into Havertz, and he just one-timed it basically and scores he made it look so easy. He did. He made it look so easy. Nice pass coming in. And
sorry, can I just say one thing before you bring my mate in?
Yep.
Just wanted to say I'm very surprised that people are being so cordial about this, because I expected to be roasted into next week.
If it was a 2-2 match and you lost at the death, it might be easy to rub it in. But that game was not a game, as you said. From the whistle.
It weren't a contest from the moment the goalkeeper touched the ball and booted it off for a throw-in. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
So welcome to the stage. We've got a man from Sam's favorite part of the world, where they like to dig stuff up from the earth. But Sam's, and I guess Spencer is joining us. He's been working these past couple of weeks of stuff, but he's back. Welcome to the show, Spencer.
Good afternoon. Hello. How's everybody doing?
We were talking about championship football, so not so good.
I mean,
We're
that's
talking
all
about
I said.
Champions League football. Champions League football. We're talking about here, boy.
Just remember, I remember Tom a couple weeks ago told us that the world, if things go bad, the sun will still rise in the morning. That's what he said a couple weeks ago.
I've not sweared at anyone. I will say that. So progress has been made.
Yeah.
Dare I say, I've attempted to be mature over this.
Personally, I'm like, I kind of want.
I've already accepted it.
I'm, it's good to hear that, but I'm like also for entertainment purposes. It's also good to see you when you like actually let it all out, like without and like Thought Deletes for me came out of nowhere. I don't know what's coming up next, but I know it's in there. It'll come out at least in the next month or so, next 4 weeks. We will hear something. So maybe not today, but you have some gems.
Sorry, I just found out some important information. Sorry, don't confirm it. Wait, he did play. What the EFL Championship Player of the Year did play last night. Apparently, Somerville played last night, but I thought the FBI had sent out a missing persons report. So, what's going on there?
Yeah. Very good question.
Yeah, he did not look like
I'm
he
just
wanted
going to go off camera for a second. I'm still here, guys. I'm just going to go off camera for a second.
All right. Yeah. Cool. I don't think he'll be melting. Yeah. Let's see.
Okie dokie.
That's a lot. Yeah, Colonel, swearing at you, I don't. It's like water off a duck's back. You don't even get it. I don't think you're gonna get it. Did I say that?
To be fair, I did call him a prick within 4 seconds of him appearing.
Yeah, you love him so much. Like I told you.
In my defense, he is a prick. Therefore, it's not being outwardly. He'll be the first to tell you. He says things that are massively prickish.
Yeah. Colonel doesn't hold back. Yeah. Oh man. So Wolves had just scored on Luton. So
what were you cooking, Stefan? Sorry, Gary.
Yeah.
Sorry, please.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nah.
Just
I think it was cooking some fucking hipster food.
What does that mean, Mr. Sam?
Food.
Is that like mushrooms and berries and stuff like that?
Something very green and very vegan.
Okay.
I once watched the Nigella Lawson cooking show, and
something very green, very vegan, very healthy.
Yep. She struck me as a very. She'd basically go, "Oh, you just go into the pantry and get your ox sweat."
The what?
That's my point, is that pretentious ingredients that the average person's not going to have. She goes, "Oh, just nip into your pantry and get your paprika flakes and ox sweat."
Okay, got the paprika, but the next thing I don't know what that is.
Sweat's not a real thing, Gary. I just made it up.
I know, but it just but that's where your mind goes, so you can do that.
Plus, most people only watch her.
Oh, there's a plant that grows in Mexico that we can cook.
I like Mexico.
Yeah, Stefan, we want to know what's on the plate.
I like Mexico too. It's my favorite drug trafficking country in the world.
What, better than Colombia?
It's better than Colombia.
It's probably more about. It's probably about more proximity to the customers than it is anything else, Mr. Tom.
Travel costs.
I'll tell you something random. It's not random.
Those Colombian women are they're better looking though.
I always
tell us, Spencer, what's the latest news in Virginia?
It's about 58 degrees and
tell me in less than 30 minutes about your draft pick.
Oh, I got nothing
Your
else to
first
say.
round draft pick.
Oh, well, hold on. Let's do Virginia first. I mean, it's
Oh crap! Now we're getting 2 sets of information from Spencer.
I don't take long telling my information, Gary. You're confusing me with someone else. I'm
All right,
quick to
hit
the
it.
point.
Let's go.
The weather's nice. It's a gloomy day. Deciding whether we're going to go to hockey or baseball tonight. So, as far as the draft pick goes, got my quarterback, and I'm happy. That's it.
Who's your quarterback now?
Bo Nix.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
It's a good fit.
Hope that works out for you.
Yep, I do as well. I'm looking forward to it. See, that took a minute to do, Gary. Wasn't that long?
See, Spencer's professional. He's professional, okay? He knows what he's doing, okay?
What are you trying to say, Sam? You're professional?
No, I'm saying you're not professional.
And what about you?
That's what I'm trying to say, boy.
Did you guys get
Assemble has joined us. Welcome to the show, The Assemble. And you know what, Colonel Ward? I should block you for that last comment.
I have 100% commandeered this discussion into a Leeds Storefest.
I was happy to talk to you because I didn't get to talk to you yesterday.
Yeah.
Because you decided, your throat decided it didn't want to play.
Hey! I'm not complaining.
Chuck, you want to play?
I'm just saying that is why Liverpool have not come out.
Yeah, there's not much going on today. Liverpool today played West Ham, drew. Anybody surprised?
Mr. Arsenal.
That first half was. I saw the game. That first half was atrocious. I mean, that was Liverpool looked terrible. Then they came out the second half and looked a lot better, but they still managed to fuck it up.
It's a gentle reminder that not everything lasts forever. We got Salah and Klopp arguing on the sideline. All marriages in football eventually end.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think Salah should be playing if you got him. But Mr. Tom's got his phone up. What's up?
No, Mr. Arsenal sent me an image where he typed bottle job into the GIF search engine, and look what popped up.
Yipes.
Klopp. Klopp the plop.
Yeah.
Klopp the plop. Wolverhampton scored, people. Wolverhampton scored.
They scored again?
No, it's only 1-0.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, sorry. I forgot they scored earlier. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, no, I thought it was another one.
It was number Huang.
Yeah, He Wang Chang.
Because Ray never sent us the information. So, did anyone else pick Everton to beat Liverpool in midweek? On the upset pick game?
I don't think so.
Excellent.
I don't think so. Let's see what he said here.
No, he didn't send out a thing.
Oh, he did not. He did not. You're right. All right.
That's why when Everton won, I was sat there like, I wonder if I've pulled any points back on everyone.
Oh, did you pick Everton?
I did pick Everton.
Wow.
But to balance it out, I did pick Luton today. So
yeah.
Actually, to be more accurate, I didn't have all my mental faculties with me, and I misread 11 as 4 because of the way Ray wrote it. But it's still my fault. And I picked Bournemouth to beat Brighton, to which he went, yeah, you can't pick Bournemouth because 10th beating 11th isn't.
Oh.
That's what Gary used to do.
Yeah. I used to do what? You saying something nice about me or being mean again?
Sorry, Gary. Sorry. I'm so sorry, Gary. It's one of those days today. I'm so sorry.
You know what? I didn't even realize that. Damn it. Sam is gone, and then there's some.
I'm sorry, I'm taking my mental anguish out on you. Okay, you're the special chosen person.
You're gonna say something else, weren't you?
You like the service. You like the service. You like the service dog. I take on the. You like the service dog. I take on the plane with me. Okay, you're the chosen one.
I've got some dating advice for the ladies.
Dating advice.
Because we have a lot of ladies watching. Got some dating advice for ladies.
Yes.
So ladies, to see how the guy is in bed, watch him put on the shoe. Does he just cram his foot in the shoe, or does he lick the shoe fully, then gently enter?
Wow.
That sounds. Yeah, I don't know about licking some of my shoe. Yeah. I don't know about that.
Our Colonel's going in on all of us.
Yeah, he does. He's not hanging. He doesn't hold back, and if you give him something, if you give him some rope, he will take it all. I feel Bronco is the only one who wants to come on the show and give detailed explanations and in-depth analysis of the games. The rest of you ruin his big. You know what? You know what? Spencer, you got your buddy. Spencer, you got your buddy. Colonel Ward, you and him are buddies now. There you go.
Colonel will turn on him the first chance he gets.
I was about to say, like, that was a compliment with the back. He basically did 2 disses there at once. He dissed you guys and dissed my in-depth analysis as well.
Yeah.
It was a calculated move, Gary, and Tom knew it and I knew it.
Yeah.
Oh.
No. I see love. Like the light, the heart. Colonel Ward's seen it. He's seen the light. He knows now.
Strange love.
Oh, and to answer.
Well, that's the last time I'm going to watch you play Fortnite very mediocrely, Colonel Ward.
Hello, assembled.
Yeah.
Hello, assembled. And you're right. QPR did spring a surprise yesterday. Not on me, because again, the moment the goalkeeper botched the goal kick in the first minute of the game, I was like, could be one of those nights probably. Turned out it was. They seem to surprise the entire football world, but not Dr. Leeds.
Yeah,
I actually met a QPR fan. Didn't know it. One of the rugby Discord video gamers is a big QPR fan. I don't think he actually watches them though, but that's the only QPR fan I know. I didn't know they had fans.
He obviously doesn't. Oh, they sold out yesterday because Leeds were in town.
There you go.
That's a fact. They sold out because
you sure that fact?
Preston. No, because Preston got their biggest attendance in like 30 years because Leeds happened to turn up on Boxing Day. Preston won as well, which is not that surprising.
And you sure it's not because they gave out some really nice pie and gravy and mash with the tickets?
They gave swag out.
They must have.
Yeah.
Would have been really cool to have been in the Premier League with you lads.
I don't know if you could have taken it.
Yeah. Well, you would need to replace like how many players?
Yeah, but you'd still be in a position like where you have the chance to do it.
Yeah.
You're still got a chance. The playoffs.
The Assembled's got a great question, which I don't usually say, but he has got a great question. He says, Transmere Rovers, what happened to them?
Are they in trouble? Let's check the scores.
They just won the LGBT upside down 4-5 QPT 3R Cup.
So Accrington and Tranmere are 1-1 at half right now. Yep. There you go.
They just won the LGBTQR32 Them Day Cisgender Cup. And yeah. They played the Ladyboys.
Yes. Every time I check my I have a family member whose son plays for Cheltenham, I think in League One. They're losing. They lost again today. He plays.
Well, that's the reason, isn't it? Obviously, because he's playing for them.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said at all. Not even close.
Sure about that?
I'm very sure I didn't say that. Stop.
I could be wrong, but I'll never mention this. Sorry, and I'll again, to go with Sam's theory that only Leeds United exist in my tunnel vision. So this is 100% that. Yeah.
True.
I think next year will be really difficult if we don't go up because I think a lot of the players are currently. I'm not saying that they're hiding in it, but you have suggested yourselves you felt like they're not playing like they're giving 100% in this last stretch, right? And that wasn't me saying it. That was what Sam and Gary were saying. Apologies if Sam never said it. But I feel like some of them know where they're going to be playing next summer or next year, and it ain't necessarily with Leeds. Like they have their moves lined up. Let's just say.
Could be.
Because we have the money. Because we need to bring in money if we don't go up.
There are a few players you could get rid of there.
Yeah,
definitely.
Well, obviously, Crystal Palace has got Somerville written all over them. I don't know why. Just always felt like because Crystal Palace. I don't think it's unfair to suggest that they have a penchant for young, fast black footballers.
Well, I think especially since they're probably going to lose one of either Eze or Elise.
Yeah, exactly.
And then some of it will be a good replacement, I suppose.
He would. To be fair to him, he could have gone last season.
Yeah.
But he didn't because he made the shrewd decision to, let's see what happens if I actually play first team football, even in the second tier. I might end up looking really good. Yeah. And one Championship Player of the Year later, I'd argue he has done that.
Yeah.
The only problem with it is basically, as you said, how you finish the season, because guess what? Teams are trying not to do at the end of the season in the Premier League, not have those type of performances. So I kind of feel like yes and no. Yeah, they're going to take him because of his talent, but he's not doing himself in. Like I'd rather him be pulled out at halftime because guess what? Fark, I can't go anymore. I just given you 110% and I got nothing else. That, as opposed to what you're seeing, it doesn't even look like he's exerting himself enough because he can be his man, right? At least once in a game. I don't feel like he did it enough to where, like, you know what?
Yesterday.
Yeah, so it didn't, so it's a mental thing. Yeah. Oh, they got relegated today. If they didn't, I think if they would have drawn, maybe, no, if they would have won, definitely.
I was really upset at the fact that the Skruev, the same midfielder, got beat twice by the same sort of move, where like he basically showed Ilias Chair onto his right hand side, which enabled him to just basically smash the ball in, and that upset me because that's what Somerville has done all year. He has a special move. Where obviously everyone knows you get Somerville gets ball on left and he tries to cut in on the right, and then it's going in that top corner. Like Stevie Wonder knows it's going in that top corner.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if you know it. Can you stop it? Is the question, and most times not, right? Because he's been good about that. So yeah, no, I had Crystal Palace in my midweek game, so I don't know I don't know how far away I am still from Sam, but I'm at least 8 points closer if you screwed up.
Do you mind if I ask who you picked, Sam?
For what? Who?
The midweek games.
Midweek, Gary, race competition.
Oh, let me check. Can't remember now. For last week, you mean the midweek one? The last week.
Yeah, the midweek. There was only like four. There's only like 4 or 5 matches, I think, because of.
Let me see. Who did I go for?
Leeds spent a lot. Do you think the club will want to recoup that outlay with the proposition of staying in the championship? Not sure.
I went with Brighton just out of sheer. Just because I just wanted them to beat City.
Yeah, that did not look like a team that was going to even give you a sniff of a chance.
Brighton just didn't even come out of the blocks.
Yeah.
I went with Everton for the opposite reason to Sam just suggested. Where I was like, I don't really want Everton to win, but at the same time, if they do, I'll get a lot of points.
Mm.
But now I've gone for Nottingham Forest this weekend. Yeah. Again, just because I want them to beat City.
I'm with you on that one. There's no way I can catch you because I'm so far behind, but I definitely would like to see that happen. It needs to happen.
That's the thing. I'm taking a bit more risk now because I've opened up quite a lead, so I'm thinking I can take a bit more risk now.
Did you say you picked Crystal Palace?
No, I picked Nottingham Forest this weekend.
No, I mean the midweek, sir.
No, I picked Brighton, obviously.
I picked Crystal Palace.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, so Gary got a lot of points as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, did you talk about this, right? You already did talk about this, really,
Yeah.
that you're going to sell.
We've got a lot of players out on loan.
Yeah.
People forget.
Do you think
We've
that
spent
young...
a lot on those players.
Yeah. You think you're going to be able to hold on to that young kid that you had come on in the... Is it in the cup match or whatever?
What,
Late in the-
Joseph?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he'll want another year. He'll see it how Somerville saw it, as in, I might actually get first team football.
Mm.
Which, and you know, it's done Somerville the world of good.
True.
Like, Willie Friednanto was a bit of a moron. But I would argue his performances in some of the games was really good. Therefore, it was like, but you could go and sit in the Everton team in the Premier League, make double the money, but look like a prick every week. Like Jack Harrison has. Because he went there and they're shocking. They're shocking. I know they've won a few games, but they are shocking. Why would you want to go to Everton knowing Sean Dyche is going to have you behind the ball? How's that showcase your footballing abilities?
Yeah. Yeah, the assembled is trying to relieve Brownie's pain of football.
Nah. He went to the Colonel Ward, as Mr. Spencer said, the Colonel Ward school of, like, I'm going to try and dig out as many people in one paragraph as possible, because he's basically gone with the old, like, Brownie, you're even worse than Leeds. But I know he ain't saying it like Leeds are doing great. Like, but amazing. I love it.
Yeah, he said he likes football anyway, so real football. So
Real football.
Cardiff plays real football. Yeah.
You know what? I'm not good. Cardiff have done me a lot of favours this year that we never capitalised on. But that ain't Cardiff's fault. So, you know, well done to Cardiff for at least, like, trying to win games that they probably shouldn't have.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Coventry will come out and want to at least get that bad taste out of their mouth, or how do you say it? Rejuvenate that feeling they had at the end of that game, because that was a lot.
Gary,
Yes, sir.
A Coventry fan had a T-shirt printed where they had the score, like the BBC box score of the game.
Yeah.
And it basically has Coventry winning 4-3 because they've not acknowledged that the fourth goal was chalked off for offside. I think that's really cringy, personally. Like, I could be wrong, but I think it's really cringy that Leeds fans claim that we won the 1975 European Cup when we didn't. So,
look at fucking Stefan now. Been banging Ipswich's drum all fucking season.
Now he doesn't want it. Now he doesn't want it.
Get to the point where they're actually going to go up. He's like, nah, don't want them to go up because it's going to be too much money, too much this, blah, blah, blah.
What was the whole point of this? Why in the world do you not want your team to win? Right? Because guess what? It might be difficult. Guess what?
Because he knows that they won't win a lot next year and it'll be miserable.
When
you're not in that big six, football's quite fucking miserable, Gary.
They'll go up and be the pinata of the fucking Premier League, won't they?
Yeah, only basically 3 or 4 teams in a league can enjoy the fruits of, you know, the league, right? I guess it's 6 now with the extra 2 domestic European Cups now, but yeah, only 6 out of the 200.
Arsenal are going to go to their ground and smack them up 9-0.
Wow. Yeah.
It's interesting you say that because they are part of they are one of 2 teams to have lost 9-0 in the Premier League.
I know they got slapped 9-0 by Man United.
Oof. Yeah, I mean, I think Arsenal could have had some big scoring games this year. If we were clinical in one of our halves, pick one.
Yeah, we just took our foot off. We could have probably got more than 9.
Yeah. So Brownies rode this Cardiff train since they were at the bottom of the barrel, they would say, and now they're just on the cusp. 30 teams out from the top.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I mean, Brownies are, He's what you call a hardcore supporter, isn't he? You know, he's followed the club through thick and thin since they were down in the lower leagues. So yeah, no, it's got to give credit where it's due. These fans, they follow him through thick and thin.
Isn't that kind of like the city drive, the city ride to the top? So maybe Cardiff, if they get different owners, can be sitting pretty as well. Because some of those city fans will tell you they were there back when they were.
There's some crazy stories and the different owners as well. The different owners that Cardiff have had. I mean, there's some crazy stories there with what they've gone through. My God.
Yeah, Stefan says in jest.
At least you lost to a class United side.
That finished second.
Mr. Tom says,
No, they were obviously a great man. They were a great Manchester United team, but obviously I'm not really going to give them the credit. But you know, obviously it is what it is. That team won it like 4 years out of 5, sort of thing. But you know, is what it is.
Yeah, you know it's bad when Darwin Núñez has to calm down Salah on the sidelines. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
Exchange. Salah was talking to Klopp, and it got a little heated.
Something wasn't happy about, was it?
Yeah.
Salah wasn't happy about something.
Yeah. And then Darwin's like, "Come on, dude, let's just play some football."
Klopp was just like, "You see my white teeth? My white teeth are very expensive. These dentures cost a lot of money. I have an Audi RS6, 1010 horsepower. What do you have, Mo? What do you have? You have a fucking Corsa. That's what you have. You have a Vauxhall Corsa, Mo. I have an Audi RS6 Superwagen.
There you go, folks.
Okay? And my teeth very white. So you listen to me, Mo. You're going to run on the right-hand side, and you're going to stay on the right-hand touchline, okay, Mo? Yes, thank you.
Wow, there you go. That's the sideline audio, folks.
That's it.
Oh, exactly. He said it's going to be a fire today if I speak. That's what Salah said on his way. Yeah.
That was verbatim, exactly what was said on the sideline there.
Yeah. Well, walking out of the locker room, he said it's going to be fire if I speak. So Salah's still not he's still not happy.
No.
I guess if he wasn't leaving in the summer, he definitely is now. Right? Might as well go get the money.
The thing is, though, this is the thing. Was it the right decision to come out and say that and announce that early? Yeah. Or should he have waited maybe until right at the end? I don't know. It's difficult to say because at the end of the day, right, in this modern age today, you're not gonna be able to keep that a secret.
Yeah, well, that's probably why they came out with it anyways, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they couldn't. He's not going to be able to keep that a secret, so he's just come out with it and hopefully motivated the team. Yeah. And unfortunately, it just hasn't worked out that way, has it?
Yeah, it's one of those things that you need to keep that close to your chest. You know what I mean? It can't go past, I don't know, the one person who's going to hire the next manager, and that's it. You know what I mean? Because it sounds like it got out more than enough people, right? Just because, as you said, that it's not like they were in the running for all 4 trophies that they had a chance to win. And they were in good positions in all of them. All of them, right? If they won that, was it Crystal Palace match, was it? Whatever it was, when City lost, they had a chance to jump top of the league and probably stay there. And then all of a sudden now they can't get anything out of the team. I mean, that's how fragile I think this whole thing is, right?
Well, you can see as soon as they didn't have Mane anymore, Firmino was a big loss for them because Firmino, he was the glue in their attack for me. He created so much for them in terms of the way they, the cohesion of their attack, and losing those guys were big losses for them. Salah is not the same. Everyone knew that as soon as he had that new contract and everything, it wasn't going to be the same. Nunes is just not. He's just not quite there yet, is he? He's not quite. He's got a lot of development to do. And that Gakpo, he's just all over the place, isn't he? Gakpo, he's like I don't know, he's like the Tasmanian, what's he called? The Tasmanian devil, isn't he, from Looney Tunes?
Yeah, I listened to some Liverpool fans, and they actually, I don't think they feel Mane was as. I think Mane's form had dipped in some of their eyes, so it wasn't really matter if they kept him or not. He wasn't going to be the same player. I think as a whole, all that front three in general worked perfectly together.
Well, that was it. Mane, Firmino, and Salah. That front three, they just clicked completely. They just created so much, and then he had a good midfield behind him as well that was working well. I mean, that midfield today was terrible. Endo, that young Japanese kid, yeah, he's a talent, but he's not very good.
Is he young? I thought he was actually pretty old.
I thought he was quite young. Maybe that's my bad. Maybe, but anyway, he's just not very good.
Yeah.
And then you just look at that midfield today compared to the times they were challenging at the top with City and winning the Champions League. It's just not the same, is it?
I think it's Van Dijk too. I don't think Van Dijk's as good as he's been in the past. I don't think
he's over the top as well now, isn't he? He's
and they don't have a good defensive partnership. And then Trent Alexander. I mean, look. There's a clip going this week where I guess Wednesday against Everton, he didn't defend Calvert-Lewin. So there's just not a buy-in there anymore that they had earlier. But I think the Mane started it too, because Mane was just so. Think of how lethal those wings were with Mane and Salah. So
exactly when they were in form, playing well on each wing, that was just incredible. And Firmino was the glue that brought them all together. Everyone's like, oh, Firmino doesn't score goals. He doesn't do this, doesn't do that. Well, actually, he did score some goals.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is he brought that play together. He brought those guys together.
Yeah. Endo's 31, so I think he's older.
Sorry, I got that wrong. Yeah. It's just a matter of I'm looking at him playing, and he's just not very good.
No, I think that was the problem. Like they picked him up right, and he looked okay for the first, when he first got in, but eventually, I think the league just wears on you, right? And
what happens that everyone went completely apeshit when they got that what's his name, Thiago Alcantara from Bayern, the midfielder, the deep lying midfielder. Is he gone now, or is he just injured again?
It's weird. I haven't heard that. I hear the name every so often, but it's never like for playing football.
He's just always injured, isn't he? He's always injured, but he was a quality. I mean, if fully fit and in his prime, he's a quality midfielder, but he's just never anywhere close to that.
I mean, that transfer never worked out for them. He was always injured.
Yeah.
I mean, Salah's is good, McAllister's good, but they're just not the same team.
Well, they've got the fascinating thing with Liverpool that's working for them is they've got some great talent coming through. Yeah. Like McAllister, Elliott, what's his name? The right back, his name now. I forget his name now.
That's Bradley, right? Is that one?
Yeah, Bradley, whatever his name is. I can't remember now, top of my head. But
yeah,
those players coming through there are really good. They're doing a really good job. They got some real good academy players coming through. Yeah. Whereas the big buys like the Gakpos, the Nuneses, these guys aren't exactly doing their job.
True. Yeah, I think they've they've lost a little bit of what they had. Like you always want that senior experience and stuff like that, right? Yeah. Van Dijk isn't the same player who's gonna, he can do it once in a while, but consistently be the last line of defense.
Yeah.
I don't think he's there yet, which is, he's older now.
And like you guys are saying, Van Dijk, he's lost that last injury he had. That I think took a lot out of him. He's lost that extra step he had. That extra bit of athleticism he had. I think he's lost that, so he's a bit behind now. So he's not quite as sharp and as great as he was. So yeah, that's what happens. Players get older, they go through injuries. They go through that cycle of life as a football player, that career cycle. And that's where Liverpool are now. You know, they're going through a cycle now where they need to need a rebuild. That's the guy who's going to come in now, who apparently is this, was he the Feyenoord coach or PSV coach? I can't remember now, but
Yeah.
Sluts,
right
as I call him. Mr. Sluts, who's coming in.
Yeah.
He's got a rebuild on his hands. That's what he's got to do. He's got to combine some of these talents together with, he's got to look at Gakpo. He's got to look at Nunez. He's got to look at Endo. He's got to look at, he's got to look at all these guys and say, what are we going to do with these guys? Are we going to ship them out and bring in upgrades?
True. I was going to say the thing that, you look at our team, you look at their team. Trossard has been available for us all of the season, right? Maybe one or two games he's been out. Jota for them, not, right? And if it's basically you got young players that are inconsistent in front of goal, Jota is the most consistent player they got out for a lot of time. That basically hurt them. Like for us, Trossard is that guy, right?
Jota is amazing. Jota's amazing for them, but again, he's always injured, isn't he? That's the thing. And at some point you're going to have to ask the question, because he's not getting younger either, Jota, isn't he? He's quite old, isn't he? Yeah. So at some point you're going to be asking the question, is he going to be able to deliver at the same level as he used to? So Liverpool are going through a transition now. That's it. I think Klopp is leaving at the right time in terms of he feels like he needs a break and all of this, which is fine and all that, but I think he also realizes he's leaving at the right time in terms of, his team needs a transition now. It needs a transformation.
Yep. It's almost like one of those times where it was a year late. You know what I mean? Like it was a year late. He got them into the Champions League, and it's like perfect. But then it's like, can he see them through to the next part of the journey, right? And he's not. So would it have been easier to bring in a manager maybe who's got some Champions League experience?
Interesting to see this next manager though is the guy they've basically renounced is ready to take over, Mr. Slot.
Where is he actually coaching right now, or what is he?
Yeah, was it PSV a final? Which one, Tom? You normally know.
No, Arne Slot manages Feyenoord.
Feyenoord, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a Feyenoord coach and or head coach and
Liverpool are hoping he will slot right in.
You are good with the words. You are good with the words, my man. Did you think that up just now on the fly?
Nah, I saw it 56 times on social media.
It's got to be in all the newspapers, isn't it? All the newspapers going to be running with that. Slot is going to slot right in, or the new guy is slotting right in.
Yeah, just an update on the scores. Fulham's up 1-0 on Crystal Palace. It looks like we got a score in the Newcastle Sheffield United game. Like
we tried to get on this slot last year.
Yeah.
When I think it was after we sacked Jesse Marsh.
Yeah. And Wolves are up 2-0 on Luton. So there you go.
Who scored for Newcastle?
Bruno Guimaraes. Hey, with that in mind, do you think it's worth Arsenal? If Arsenal spent 180 on Guimaraes and Isak, would that be bad money spent?
No. Yes. Yes.
First you said no, so I'm going to go with your first answer because I usually think your first answer is the right one.
Why would they sell us? Why would Newcastle sell the players?
Dude, that's not the question. Answer the question. Don't give me the reality of this whole situation. If Arsenal threw 180, would Newcastle go, nah, we don't need it?
They're in 10th place with those two players. How do they make us better?
How do they make us better?
How does Bruno G make us better? Is like Partey versus Bruno G? Like, be honest. I can hear Isak.
He's closer to Partey than what we got right now.
Declan Rice. I think Declan Rice is better.
Declan Rice is good at an 8, right? He's really good at an 8.
But if we're talking 6-6, why would? Bruno G, yes, but Isak, yes. Bruno G, I don't know about Bruno G. I don't know, man. I don't know why Newcastle would never sell to us those players anyway.
That's not. I get the dreaming part of it, but the question is, you'll say Newcastle wouldn't sell for 180?
Not those two players.
Probably not.
Isak would automatically make our striker position better. All right. I just don't think Bruno would. If you're going Bruno and Partey, I just don't know, man. I think it's kind of equal for equal in my opinion.
No, but
I think Bruno's a backup.
He's a backup to who, though?
He'll be a backup 6.
No, but to who?
To Partey.
But Partey's not going to give you 30 games.
No, but that's what. So Bruno's going to come in and he's not going to be as good.
But we don't have another. Is there another Partey out there? Like Partey, like the things that we get out of Partey right
now.
I
quite like Frankie de Jong. I've always liked him.
I mean, I know people are going to say Douglas Luiz, but I would almost argue that Bruno is better than Douglas Luiz.
Yeah, Douglas Luiz he's quite physical and all that, but he loses the ball a lot.
Yeah, and then he's got he's got discipline issues too. He's on 10 yellow cards this year. I mean, do we need that again? We went through that song and dance with Granit Xhaka.
And Guimaraes is the same. Bruno Guimaraes is the same. He's a dirty fucker.
Yeah, I just don't know if we need to have that liability with the yellow cards. Our discipline is finally under check this year.
Rather go for a De Jong or that Tchouaméni guy.
But don't you think Arteta has an influence on his players where, yes, Guimaraes might be a donkey to most, but for us, he'll just be that guy who just cleans up shop and makes sure you don't get by?
Well, it'd have to change. I think we'd have to work with him a lot to do that because I think it's in his instincts to play like that.
Especially when you get caught out, right? So if you get caught out of position, and if you've always been a guy that grabs players, like it's just going to be your natural instinct to grab a player.
I always feel like players that come to Arsenal, Arteta, basically touches them, and the things that you've seen at other clubs, he calms that down a little bit, sometimes too much, right? So that's why I feel like Arteta sometimes is an influence on his players in a way that basically you see him playing elsewhere and you're like, oh, we're going to get the same play when he comes here, and you never do because Arteta's scheme and coaching and management and all of that turns it a little bit differently in certain areas, right? And some players will be open to it and some players won't, right? The players that won't are the ones that don't last, right? They don't into his coaching. So that's kind of my thing, Sam. Sorry about that. But yeah.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, in terms of players, I like that type of 6 role who can play in the 6 role. I mean, Partey, when he's fully fit and, at 100%, there's very few players who can match that level, of course. It's very hard to replace him. But in terms of players I'd like to see come in and sort of provide cover for him or maybe rotate with him, definitely, I think a Frankie de Jong is very good. I think that Tchouaméni guy is very good from what I've seen. I haven't seen him play much, but what I've seen him play looks very good. Yeah. And another player I like, but the next guy I'm gonna name. He can play a bit. He can play a little bit sort of everywhere as well. He can play an 8. He can play like box to box. He can also sit in the 6 role, but I think he's a bit more of a pipe dream, to be honest, in terms of his value and where he is. And that's Camavinga. I think Camavinga's a great prospect.
Yeah, but he comes off the bench though, right? He doesn't.
I don't think we're going to be getting him from Real Madrid.
Yeah, that's not happening. It's a good player to shout out, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Is Eze a 6 or an 8?
Eze, he's definitely an attacking player.
Yeah.
Okay.
8, sometimes.
Okay.
I mean, that's the thing about Declan Rice. I think what we saw Tuesday is ideally probably what Arteta probably wanted to do. Partey at the 6, Rice at the 8 with Odegaard. I just think that was 100% the plan all along. But I mean, I kind of have to agree because I know Liam had brought it up. Well, I think after the Bayern Munich game, it's like, we're probably going to be looking at a 6 this year. Probably looking at a left back and a striker. And
definitely the left back.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of rotation at left back position tells me that he just does not know who the best one is. I know it's situational based because, like, you want Zinchenko in some of these games where you want extra possession, but I'm at the stage now where Zinchenko just needs to move to be a midfielder.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then, this is also like I think this also when Timber comes back, we could see a traditional back three back there with Timber, Saliba, and Gabriel. And
you think Arteta's going to change his scheme because he's vetted to this the back, and Timber is a center back, and we don't have depth at center back, right? So
I think
Isak scored again.
Yeah,
I think it's all based. I think it's all based on the game.
No, but we never the way we play with our back. We start with a back four, and then we rotate, right?
Yeah.
But if you're bringing Timber and I don't know, maybe I have it all wrong, but
I want to see if Timber can play out left.
Yeah.
Because if Timber can play out left, then he could be the answer, because he just looked really, really promising when he played. But we have to be able to see if he can play that role out left.
Did you not I know we didn't see an entire season, 20 games, whatever that, but when he played left, it looked fine to me. It looked like what we want out of our left back, as far as being able to defend and also being able to be
the
starting
good,
point
right?
for the attack, right? So the skills look like they're there. We just have to get some consistency out of it.
Pre-season, that was the problem, wasn't it? We saw him pre-season, and then about 20 minutes in that first game.
No, but I mean, you see stuff, and then you go, "This is going to work or not," right?
Yeah, no, that's why I want to give him the chance, because he looked impressive. I remember him being one of the players in pre-season for us who was impressive. I remember Trossard was impressive, and I remember Timber was impressive. And I remember thinking, these guys are going to have a good season if they get, the right minutes and everything. Well, unfortunately, Timber got injured.
Well, you solved the problem there, Sam, right? You solved the problem there. Timber at left back, Ben White at right back. And then Tomiyasu and Kivior as rotation.
Yeah.
You still need to buy a left back, don't get me wrong. But, I mean, this is also
you need that amount of left back if you have Timber. Do you still need to buy a left back if you have Timber and you have Kiwior and you have Tomiyasu?
I think if Timber works out, at that left role, I don't think you need to buy the left back. But that's what I was curious about, because if he's not going to be the left back, or if he's not working out well there at the left back role, then that is definitely one we need to look at. Even though Tomiyasu and Kiwior both do a decent job there, like Spencer says, depending on the team we're playing and sort of the tactics we're deploying, who'll use either a Kiwior or a Tomiyasu, but you've got to have someone who's more actually in tune with and naturally, inclined to play that role. You got to have that. So yeah. For me, it would be Alphonso Davies, but he's already going to Real Madrid. And Real Madrid next season are going to be fucking crazy.
So that's actually confirmed. Like.
Well, I think that's. I mean, I haven't double checked, but that's what everyone's been saying. He's signing a contract with Real Madrid. So,
Real Madrid's going to get Mbappe, Alfonso. They're bringing in the young Endrick player. What else? What else do they need?
They're probably going to sell incredible talents. So yeah,
they're probably going to sell a couple players to make this move happen. Now,
imagine that team. They got Bellingham, and Vinicius Junior, Mbappe, fucking Camavinga, Tchouameni, fucking Alphonso Davies. Oh Jesus Christ!
You think they'll sell us Rodrigo?
They may have to. Just to keep up the UEFA rules.
Yeah, they're going to have to sell one or two players for FFP, surely. Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, crap. I knew it was going to happen. I knew. I just saw Tom leaves, and then somebody always walks in the door. Who is it? Who's there?
My name's Michael Jackson.
Oh, my gosh. Ben.
Are you the holiday representative for TUI?
Yeah, why not, motherfucker?
Yeah. At
But
least
you
they
handle the
knows
kids,
exactly.
kids club though, don't you? You mainly take care of the kids club part of that.
I like the 28 club because there's 20 of them.
Oh god.
That is just really wow. Mm-mm.
Shalom, motherfucker. Shalom.
Do you kick your leg up when you say that? Because sounds like
Yes,
this
I
was.
do. Because I'm Michael Jackson.
Yes, cramps.
Oh,
I'm Craig David.
I don't know. What does this mean, Stefan?
Post-selector wacko jack. Yeah. I was a English comedy character
I'm a
from a
bad
comedy series.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
You should check it out. You should check it out sometime. It's good fun.
What's
So-
that?
I know you were about to talk about the left back, and if we had what we had, that would be good enough. But the other argument comes down to, we talk about squad size and not having enough players to finish the season. So let's go, for example, here. I'm going to go for a big fictional what if, but it's more likely than it's not likely. Say you keep Tierney and you make him rotate. You don't expect Tierney to play 36 games, but you can get 20 out of him knowing his injury history. So now you have another competent left back.
Yeah.
That's I think the reason he got moved on anyway, a loan move, is because he couldn't stay healthy. I mean, does anybody know how many games he played at Sociedad this year? I didn't really follow it, but
No, I haven't checked it out.
You know what? He got injured when he was there, and I just feel like we can't. We already like what you know. You know he's not going to give you 30 games in a season, right? We need at least that, based on the way that Arteta likes to use his squad, right? Like be available to play, maybe not start 30, but definitely be available to play. I just, we need. I'd rather take a step back sometimes to get availability. You know what I mean?
well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think availability over ability matters drastically. And the thing about Isak's not always available.
Yeah, but you know what? He's doing it. How many goals does he have? Sorry, Sam, but how many goals he has now versus his availability? And you know what? If he's coming in and out of the lineup with Arteta, he's 20 goal scorer for us easy the way we play. Sorry, Sam.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, in terms of talking about Kieran Tierney, it's an interesting point you bring up there because he is actually a good left back that we could potentially have back at Arsenal. But the reason I think he's not really got into Arteta's good books is, yes, I think part of it is because he's always had that niggling hamstring injury that's been causing a lot of problems, or the calf, or whatever it was. Yeah, that injury that kept coming back all the time. There was that, but also I think tactically, I don't think he's managed to do what Arteta wants him to do. Because I think tactically, Kieran Tierney is a more straightforward run down the wing, cross the ball in with accurate crosses early type of player, like a Trent Alexander-Arnold type of player. Now, for me, that can work really well in certain types of games where you want to maybe change up, your style of play and talk about have a plan B or a plan C and, have that ability to just charge up the wing and put in precise crosses, pump in those precise crosses, because with Kieran Tierney, we could do that. We could pump in precise crosses and maybe that create some good things, for our attack. But in terms of the whole general sit back, soak up type of play, or you're going to be inverting into the middle like he's been doing with the left back, it's that doesn't work for Tierney. I remember, he struggled with that inverting stuff. So I think that's probably one of the main reasons why he's been moved on. But Spencer's right, and it's a very interesting point because Kieran Tierney is a good left back, and it would seem very strange to just move him on unless there's a very valid, reason there that we don't really know about.
You know what's crazy though, Sam, to kind of like piggyback on that point. So like you talk about Kieran Tierney, very direct, fullback, overlapping runs and everything. But there's like a couple games, and I go back to even the Bayern Munich game where we can't play through the lines in the middle. All of a sudden we're slinging crosses in. So it's like you got a guy who's active with crosses. He's on your bench, kind of like a utility player you bring on. It's like, all right, we're not breaking down the lines in the middle. But does that also come down to Partey not playing and Declan Rice having to play further back? Like there's just all these different variables.
Well, it's like you say, when you see, it's a very good example you come up with there, Spencer, because when you see a game sort of, Kieran Tierney could be an impact player where you see a game sort of change in a certain direction tactically where it opens up more on the wings. You want to go more direct down the wing. You want to start pumping in crosses, create more chances into the box early. Then you bring on Kieran Tierney. You bring him on and he can be that instead of bringing on Zinchenko, you bring on Kieran Tierney and he'll give you that direct impact down the wing, the overlapping down the wing, crossing early, good. Because that's the thing with Kieran Tierney. His crossing was really good. He was that was one of the things that was a big advantage with him. I remember all the stats, we're talking about all the stats about him when we bought him, was Kieran Tierney is one of the most accurate crossers of the ball as a defender, as a left-sided defender there is. He's one of the most accurate crossers of the ball. So, to have that running down the wing, direct, cross the ball in ability during a game, maybe as an impact play, you bring him on after 60 minutes. It's great to have that on that bench because we have we have the big benches now, right? We have all those players in the matchday squad for both the Premier League and the Champions League. It's good to have those different alternatives, isn't it?
The other thing I was going to think of, and maybe I'm just wondering, let's talk about the fullback position versus the center back position. It's like Tomiyasu always seems to have these injuries. Kieran Tierney's got injuries. I mean, the body does break down on you, but do you feel that there's the fullback position is more physically taxing than the center back position from a running aspect? Now, obviously,
no doubt.
So I'm just wondering if like a guy like Tomiyasu keeps having all these injuries, well, let's just shift you to center back so you don't have to do some of these long stretching runs. And then the same thing, I mean, Zinchenko, obviously he has his injuries. I keep wondering these guys that we have on fullback positions that keep getting hurt. I'm like, is there a solution to move them to center back where you can still utilize their strengths, but you're not worried about them getting hurt every 5 seconds? I just think certain positions on the field require different taxing. I mean, obviously in center back position, on set pieces, you're getting battered and hit, but everybody's getting battered and hit there. So I just think it's an interesting thing, especially with Tomiyasu. He's played center back for Japan.
Yeah.
We have an answer at center back. We really need to think about our fullbacks at this point more than center back.
Well, the fullbacks are roles that traditionally a lot more. They cover a lot more distance, right? They're like basically in modern football now. They're like an extra winger, right? They're that on the left hand side or the right hand side. They're an extra winger, and they're covering a lot of ground. And it's a very, very taxing role to have because you're up and down the pitch all the time. So yeah, you've got to be really fit. And you got to have really good endurance, and your body's got to be able to, your muscles, your ligaments, your joints have got to be able to cope with it. It's a really demanding, physically demanding position to have. So you're right. These guys that break down easily, it's going to hurt them. That's probably one of the reasons maybe we want to have a Tomiyasu, Kieran Tierney, and a fucking Kiwior, because between those three guys, you're going to need them three to cover 38 games, because of all the fucking injuries and everything. But at the same time, I think tactically they bring different things to the table as well. And I think one of the ways you take away some of that burden of that constant attacking again is like the way the way Arteta likes to get them to invert, where they come into midfield, they sit more in midfield, add an extra number in midfield, which will open up someone to go further ahead on, further up the pitch. So you don't exactly have them bombing up and down the wing as normal. But like I said before, for Kieran Tierney, I just don't think that worked. I don't think he was able to do that. He wasn't good at coming into midfield and being like an extra support in midfield. He was always at his best running down the wing. So yeah, I could just see him being like an impact player.
Yeah, and then the question becomes, do you want to pay an impact player the wages that he's potentially on. But I look at City's bench and think about their back line and the amount of players that are multifaceted. They can play left back, center back, Akanji, Ake. They can all play different positions. And you kind of like
now. That's what's happening now with modern. There's so much happening in football now, and we don't really talk about it. That's something I would really like to talk about is how much football is changing now with players, the way they play. Because you've got players now, they're doing different roles. Before you would just, you'd have one role basically, maybe two. But now you've got guys doing 2, 3, 4 roles. You've got these hybrid players. I mean, look at John Stones, the way Pep Guardiola's revolutionizing. He's bringing back the libero position. It's incredible. The libero position hasn't been used since the late 70s, early 80s. It was used first with Beckenbauer, and then in the late 80s, early 90s with Lars Matthäus, the German captain, and Bayern Munich captain after Beckenbauer. Where you bring in John Stones as he's a big technical guy. He's big, he's powerful, but he's also pretty technical. He brings him through all over the middle like an extra attacker. It's incredible. He's a centre back and he's an extra person in attack at the same time. How do you stop that? How do you mark that? It's really smart. And you see
Sorry, Sam. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I just wanted to finish off with just one point. One more point about how you see other players are also have hybrid roles now, where they're playing different positions within a game. They're like all this inversion stuff, right? They're inverting at certain points, and they're covering that area at a certain point, depending on where the ball is, depending where the opposition is. So they're playing 3, 4, 5 different roles now. So players aren't traditionally just that role anymore. They're not boxed into a certain role. They're doing several different roles, and I think we're seeing more and more of that now, especially with the younger up and coming coaches now, like the De Zerbis, of course we had it with Pep. He started a lot of it. The Artetas, and we're seeing it more and more now with other coaches coming through. We're going to see players. So basically, my point is, you don't need basically now. You're not going to need such a huge squad anymore. Even though, of course, the more players who can do more things, the better. But you'll have 1, 2, 3 players who can do several roles. Where instead of having to have 6 players, you can have 3 players who can do the role of those 6.
Yeah. I think that's a good point. I do expect to see Arsenal probably to adapt that tactic like Stones does. And I think that tactically what Pep does by bringing Stones in the midfield is less – it's more defensively sound than leaving your fullback. But I also think the inverted tactic isn't a horrible tactic. It's just you have to have the fullback that understands the discipline and the role of where they need to be. And I think Kivior does it well. Zinchenko doesn't do it well because he gets himself – he looks like a young kid playing football out there with a bunch of 6 and 7-year-olds, like following the ball. So he catches himself right next to Saka when he should technically be splitting that field in half and kind of staying on the left side a little bit further up, but enough to where you can fall back and be defensively sound. It is an interesting tactic that Pep's done, and I think that's the thing about Pep. But the squad size helps him do that and the ability. But it's like I said to I don't know who I was talking to about this, but when Arsenal made all these transfers in the summer, they were looking for versatile players. Vieira, for example. Fabio Vieira came in as a box-to-box midfielder, but I saw him play right wing in the preseason. We've seen him come on for Saka as a right winger. Does he have to play the position? I don't really know, but he's looking for places for some of these guys. And it's like Emile Smith-Rowe. He can play box-to-box. He can play left wing. Does he potentially get moved on in the summer? I don't know. Maybe. But
I'd rather see Smith-Rowe given a chance than Vieira now, to be honest.
No, I don't disagree with you on that. Yeah, I just think there's more money invested in Vieira, so I think it'd be hard for them.
Yeah.
They paid.
I'd just love to see I've been watching games with Manchester City.
Yeah.
And what he does with John Stones, it's incredible. All of a sudden, John Stones goes up the pitch and he becomes like an extra attacker. And you just see the defense just don't know what the fuck they're going to do. Who do they mark? Because if they mark him, they're leaving someone else. It's such a smart, different way of playing football. And you got to give Pep his due for doing stuff like that, But anyway, We're taking all the airtime from everyone else now.
But he,
No, I just also I think, as you said, one thing Arteta does, he looks at what these players have done and what they can do, and he might, everybody sees Ben White as a center back. Arteta's like, well, I can take some of that and push it out to the right, yeah, and that's why he's fine over there as well. So I kind of feel like, but for me also, I think Arteta, like he's learned all these things. I just would like him to kind of like mutate it a little bit based on his dynamics. You can't take what City does and do it elsewhere. One, because not this early. Like there's things that he can do that he doesn't have. He can't. He's trying to cut, cookie cutter it, and it's just not, for me. It doesn't work. So at some point you have to kind of massage it the way with what the players that you have. So I think that's one of the things that he needs to do, because we're not going to be able to just go out there and spend exactly the right amount of money to get the players that fit a hole that we need to fill. He needs to mold the holes to fit some of the players he brings in sometimes, because everybody's talented in many ways, but you can't do I don't think we can do exactly what City does. I think we need to do what Arsenal needs to do based on the players we can afford and bring in and all of that stuff. Because when we try to go and do things somebody else's way, we fall on our face because we don't have that specific player, right? So I kind of feel like he should take all that knowledge he has and go, look, do I have that? No. So how can I make that work for me, right?
Yeah.
Because we're not gonna be able to fill and strike a hole like they did and just bring in Haaland. It's not right. It's not gonna happen. So with that in mind, whoever we bring in is not going to, give you 30 goals plus in a season in all comps, right? It's just not going to happen.
The only caveat, Gary, is tactics are tactics. And I think kind of
some intention.
So we're not going to be able to find a Haaland for 30 goals, but the Stones tactic isn't something that Arsenal they could probably implement that. I think we absolutely could. And a guy like Timber could do that role. Just imagine Timber loose in the midfield and then falling back into the back line when it was time to defend.
Yeah.
And and it's credit to Pep, because I know Tom's brought this up about Pep in the past, and he's got the best players, but
fraud.
But he constantly evolves. But it's easy to evolve also when you have the best players, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that he keeps it fresh constantly is something that's still super impressive in my mind. But I still find it impressive. And look how crazy it is. Klopp's leaving this league with a whimper, right? Look at how poor the Liverpool team had finished for their Jurgen Klopp, the guy that they love, our Klopp.
Mm.
For Pep to potentially win 6 out of 7 leagues here, regardless of the cheating and all that stuff, it's still impressive to win that many championships in 7 years and was considered the top league in the world.
I'd be disappointed.
You're not going to press Tom.
No, it's okay. No, a lot of people are not going to agree with you on this either, but I'm just using context with it.
No, I'll tell you why he failed, right? Because
I agree with Spencer.
Now, if you cheat 115 times, you should win 7 out of 7.
We'll have to see what's true out of that, won't we, Tom?
Yeah, that's true. But more importantly, I've got a question for you all. Yeah. What's the difference between a genealogist and a gynecologist?
One studies bodies, the other investigates.
Oh, I didn't know you'd take it seriously. Okay. Basically, one looks up your family tree,
and one
the other looks up the family bush.
Yeah. Hey! Surprise! 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 A goalkeeper who takes out an attacking player gets penalized for it. So Onana took out a attacker in the air, and
I think
Burnley's going for a goal.
I'll give you really important context, Gary. I'll give you massive important context of what Jurgen Klopp's done at Liverpool.
Yeah,
he won the same amount of league titles as Claudio Ranieri did at Leicester.
Yeah, Someone will say he won a Champions League too.
Wow.
He completed
no,
the set, right?
If
And
you
you know
beat
what?
Tottenham, did you really win it?
Well, the thing is, Tom, do you understand that there's something called context?
Yeah, I do, but your context doesn't fucking suit my opinion.
So he deals in agendas, Mr. Sam.
Your
Agendas.
context
You
go
just deal
fuck
in
yourself.
black and whites. I got you. You racist cunt.
Wow. Well,
I guess
there
we
you
went
go.
there.
It's been said. It's been said now. Sam, or is that the Lord? Or is that Lord Sam has showed you the name
Just black
of?
and white. Just black and white. There's nothing in between. There's no context.
Context is everything in life, Tom.
Context is
Because
key.
you got Leicester playing a season where you got Leicester playing a season. You know that season just everything went their way, of course, but everyone else was completely fucked up, basically. And then you got Liverpool they got 100 points, and they still didn't win the league.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how it feels to get a lot of points and still not get what you wanted. I don't know.
See, this is Leeds being projected on everyone else again. You see, this is what Tom does.
Yeah,
Tom's like, we got all these points. We should be champions of the championship, but because we're not
champions of the Champions League, let alone the Championship.
But because we're not champions of the championship, that's it. And no one can have any fun anymore.
I'm much more whiny than that, to be fair. But in all seriousness, I like as you and Spencer, like you were talking like tactics and serious tactics, but in my head, I was just thinking it sounds like Pep Guardiola's changed all the player attributes to 20 out of 20 on Football Manager, and he's like, oh, let's see what happens if I move John Stones a bit further forward. Because I've already got the best players, so now I can just fuck around with what I have.
But still, there's a thought process behind it, though. There's an idea and a strategy behind it, what it does. Right? That's the thing, try and change things a bit, make things a bit different, because teams are going to set up a certain way against you. If you play a set way every game, teams are going to eventually, they're going to figure out a way to counter that. So this is the way you have to try and keep things changing. I've got a plan B, a plan C, try and have little ways of altering things. And that's where Pep is really good. I just have to, you can disagree with that. That's fine. That's your prerogative. But I just think Pep is really, really good at finding those alternatives and different solutions to making things, work. And yeah, of course, he's got great players, but he's also making those great players work.
Yeah. I mean, people talking about it all the time. Wenger still was able to keep Champions League with the teams that he either was given or decided to take.
I can't believe you look at that squad.
Yeah.
Wenger had one of those last squads he had. He got them not the last one he had because we went out, we didn't get to the Champions League then, but I think it was the second to last year he had before he left. That squad that we managed to get fourth place in the league and get into the Champions League, it just shows you that it shouldn't be possible. Players like Frimpong and fucking Sonogo and these guys, they shouldn't be in the Champions League at all.
Yeah, Shamak or whatever. Is it Shamak or whatever?
Yeah.
Shamak. You know what? That's why when people talk about Arteta, I'm like, he's only done this for 4 years. There's something to be said about coaching for 10 plus years in football. It doesn't matter where.
There's something that doesn't fit a narrative, Gary.
No, I know, but that's just when people talk about let's keep it real. Let's keep it real, right? The reality is 4 years in, like nobody says a goalkeeper after 4 years is going to be one of the top goalkeepers in football. It doesn't really happen that way ever, right? It takes time to get, you see the top goalkeepers now, they're sitting on, 8 to 10 years at least, right? When they're at the top of the game. So for me, a manager.
A goalkeeper will get better when he gets, he'll mature and get better at a later stage.
But that's not also the goalkeepers take longer to mature because it's all about seeing the game. Also, it's not about just stopping shots.
No, but I mean, that's it for all positions, though, right? Not everybody's going to be a 16-year-old like Rooney and come out there out the
yeah, but with a goalkeeper, goalkeeper's so much down to experience. It really is.
I think managing as well, though. I think managing a team, because it sounds like everybody believes Arteta's a good coach. A manager, totally different skill set that he needs to still work on, right?
Well, yeah, I mean,
Arteta's shown that he can learn from, he can adapt and he can learn. That's what I think has been so good with Arteta is, how many times have we said, oh, he's made a mistake there, he hasn't really done well there. Let's hope he improves on that. Let's hope he changes that. And he's actually done that. He's actually made those changes. And that, that's what's impressive to me, because so many coaches and managers we've seen, I'm not talking specifically Arsenal now, but, other teams, their managers are making the same mistakes again and again and again and again. They're just not changing things up. They're not doing things differently. Whereas Arteta, yes, because he's new at the job. He's learning basically as he's doing this. But at least he's actually doing things and changing things, learning from his mistakes, and that hopefully will put him in each season that passes now will make him better and better at what he does.
I mean, a prime example was the Partey at right back, right? He tried it out. It didn't work.
He took a risk for me on a player who we can't take risks on his minutes. They have to be, for me, it's like saying, you know what, for this game, I'm going to move my striker in his best position, or basically Havertz in midfield. Once we found that Havertz in the midfield not good, never go back there again. And we still went back there again. And guess what? We didn't win. I felt like at some point, it's the writing's on the wall. This is where
I think for us supporters are always going to be a little bit impatient, and we're always going to be a little bit more demanding than actually being in the game itself. I think for us, it did feel that it took a long time for him to realise is the change that needs to be made. But I think the good thing is he did finally make that change. Yeah, it probably lasted a bit too long. He probably went a few games longer than we would have liked to have seen, but he did make the change, and now it's working. He's learned from that. So, again, it's him adapting and learning, and it'd be interesting to see now. Next season is going to be very interesting, because now it's going to be even more learn and experience, and we're going to keep all the same players that we need to keep. We signed all the contracts now most of the contracts now with the players we want to keep. So we'll see who else we bring in and how that fits into everything. But it's going to be really interesting to see how we push on next season, and hopefully we've learned from a few of the mistakes we've made this season. But I mean, the thing is, right, and again, this is context. We've won, 14 or 15 out of 17? I think we've played 16 or 17 games now since Christmas, and we've won in all competitions, and we've won all of them except 2. There's only 2 games we've not won, and in all of those games we've been scoring on average three goals a game. That's the average. We've been scoring nearly 4 goals an average a game. And at the same time, we're still not guaranteed to win the league. We're 3 games away from the end of the league. City can still potentially win it. I mean, this just shows you what you're up against. It's it's impossible. It's like David versus Goliath. It's like, how do you do it? You have to do
reading the room.
Yeah.
You have to do perfection.
Well, it's that quote. Sometimes people say it's it's finished strong. It doesn't matter if we finish strong now, because guess what? You got to be perfect from game 1.
Say we win our last 3 games now, right?
Yeah.
So that's gonna be 20 out of 22 games since Christmas in all competitions we've won, right? It's a colossal task. It's a record. and you still can't beat City at the end of it. They're going to win by 1 point or something like that. If it goes the way it looks like it's going to go. I mean, again, it's like context. It's like, how do you have to be perfect? You know, perfection. It's nearly impossible.
And that's the thing too, Sam. You got people that want to throw everything away. If we lose the title by 2 points, there are people that want to throw everything away and try it again, as if like the next manager's going to pick off at the same location and keep kicking on like we were. You're not guaranteed winning. You don't choose when you suck. You don't choose really when you win. You have to have the right. Everything has to go in to win. So you can win playoffs in America and not be great during the regular season. You just got to get into the contest and be great during that tournament. But in the Premier League, it's a 38-game season. You got to manage Europe. You got to manage your cup competitions.
Yeah.
I mean, we can look back at this season and go, yeah, you know, we potentially lost at Fulham against a 10-man Fulham. We potentially lost when we had 83 touches in the box against West Ham. We can even discuss that, hey, taking Odegaard off and not throwing Partey on was probably the mistake against Aston Villa, which would have potentially kept it a 0-0 draw. We took 8 points out of 12 off of Liverpool and Man City, the teams we've been chasing the last 4 years. Context is everything. Now, granted, they don't give you trophies for sending second. Obviously, we know this. But my God, I mean, I've heard people even say we should get rid of Martinelli. Martinelli's 22 years old. He's not even in his prime. Yeah. That kid's got so much talent, so much potential. I would never sell Martinelli. Now, if we're talking he makes the same mistakes at 25, 26, yeah, he's got to go. But there's such a ceiling for this kid that's going to keep growing. We're in such a good spot right now. And, you know, we may win this title. I really don't know. The group chats are worried about Liverpool and what they do, and they're behind us. And it's just so weird. We've been in control of our destiny over Liverpool since about maybe February-ish.
Yeah, well, I think if
I was gonna say something there. If anybody's looking at, depending on how this season goes, if it doesn't go our way, right? Just remember back to when City lost in the Champions League final, right? If based on what people are saying now, that would mean, guess what? We should fire. You know, Liverpool should have fired their manager because they lost in the final, right? Since then, what do they do after that, right? They went and won the 2 biggest trophies you can in the next 2 years. That's where we are right now. We're that close. We could go out next year, and if we have the team that we want, we can do what we did at the start of 2024 in the summer of 2024. We can start out just the same way. Yep. We can build on what we just did, and you know. And then people always talk about, well, you know what? You should stick with your team when things don't always pan out right. When they complained about us leaving it when that first shot went in for Villa, right? They want the team to do the exact opposite, right? The team to just face it. You know what? We're probably not going to win this league or whatever. Let's blow it up and start over again. And they don't. And then they also on the top of that want our fans to stay around. And that's how big teams do it. I kind of feel like, nah. The team I don't think is going to change anything. Arteta's done more than enough to secure his job, right? There are players off now. And another, you know, I think just another year in the system for some players, right? Like Timber will be hopefully playing on many games next year. Saka hopefully will have a little bit time to to digest games, not always on the pitch, right? And Martinelli, I think the injuries kept every time he seemed to get some form, the injuries kind of knocked him back down. And right now he's not at the point in his career where he can just come in and be right back to where he was when he left. Right? That's what, you know, that comes with time, I think, and maturity and your body growth and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of feel like, you know what, this is I always say, you know what, did we do better than last year? Oh yes, we did. Yes, we did, because we not only took on Champions League, which we took on European competition, like most teams do, right? We actually played our starters and all of that. They get short breaks and all that kind of stuff, and still were able to perform. So right now, there's nothing. All we need is more players. All right, our manager's getting better every game, every season, from season to season to season. It's getting better, and that's what you get when you bring in a manager with no experience, right? You bring in a player with no experience, you don't expect them to come in and be top scorer in the league, top defender, top goalkeeper immediately. So you're asking a manager to do that. You're it's that you're not speaking in reality at that point. So I think we're where we need to be. I'll be upset if we win out and we don't get it, or if we drop some points in it and it would have helped us to win out, But when you step back and you look at the entire year, I don't want to look back I don't even want to look to the entire year just yet. That seems too soon for me because we still have a big game tomorrow.
Yeah.
No matter what it's for, it's still a big game, right? You want to beat that team, all right? That's what you need. It doesn't even matter what's on the line. This is as big a game as any. Every year we want to beat them. Beat them at home. We don't do that too often, all right? They don't. So when we have a chance to do that. We are at our worst still give ourselves a chance to win, right? This season, in our worst, we still had opportunities to take a lead and win games. So I think we'll be fine as long as we continue what we're doing. And Arteta is not going anywhere because he's doing exactly what I think he needs to do. And so far, the team has been backing him up. All right. At some point, they're not going to want to spend money, but they can't. They have to do it one more time, because I think one more time there's trophies in our future. Because right now it's about depth and quality in starters if we're going to get starters coming in. So pick one or the two.
So I'll give you some more context to this. I got a guy at work who's a United fan. He's 22 years old, young kid. We were just talking, and I was like, "Yeah, maybe we got someone in our fan base that want to get rid of Arteta." And he's like, "Go ahead, please fire Arteta. We'll hire him tomorrow." There's people in our fan base, and then we're not going into that rant about the legends and all those losers and all those people that grift at YouTube and stuff like that. But there's people that want to adopt that Chelsea mentality of just constant firing. But let's do some context with this. Do you think Chelsea would be in the same position they are today if they'd have kept Tuchel? I don't think so. I think Tuchel would have righted that ship, and they'd probably be a 5th or 6th place team right now. Instead, they're waffling in 10th.
Yeah.
Pochettino. But this constantly, fire my manager. I didn't get the result I wanted today. Let me fire my manager. Let me yell at my YouTube screen. Yeah. People just think that's the way that business and things operate. Yeah. I mean, maybe if you have the budget of Real Madrid or Man City, you could fire a manager every 10 seconds, but not everybody got that budget.
That right there is the key. Facts. Like, you can have a system, but if you don't have the tools to fit that system, it doesn't matter, right? I always say, you want to be able to, play up your players and get more out of them.
Yeah.
But if they're starting way behind the other team's players, it doesn't matter how much improvement you put on them. They're still not going to catch up, right? You can do all you want. Like right now, you can do all you want to a player and then try to compare them with one of the tops in the world. It's like, it doesn't matter. Even if you double their output, they're still not coming close, right? If you double Nketiah's output, it doesn't even come close to Haaland, right?
Yeah.
It's just there are levels to this thing, and you need to bring the bottom up. Essentially, that's what we need to do. We can't be looking at our bench going, well, he's not going to play today. You know what I mean? That's where we are right now. There are like 3 to 5 players every game on the bench that aren't going to play. Can't be. They all have to have a part to play in this thing.
Yeah, greatness is hard to replicate, Gary. It's one of the hardest things to replicate. And to win a league, you have to be great. And that's why the teams that win it multiple times back to back have this. It's like Russ said here about should have beaten Bayern. Yeah, we should have absolutely beat Bayern. We should have beat them at home in the first leg. But you play that game 2 or 3 years from now with more experience, Arsenal beat Bayern because they have the knowledge and an overhaul to not make those stupid mistakes like coming out 40 yards and kicking making turnovers and conceding penalties, or Saka putting the ball in the back of net instead of playing for a penalty, right? Like there's certain things you learn the more you go in life, and the good ones learn from those lessons. The poor ones continue to make the same mistakes. And we can talk about this goes into your general life where you work at your job. You got that person that continues to make the same mistake. They're not aware. They don't have that self-awareness. So, I mean, this also comes down to the manager, the players. I mean, greatness is hard to replicate. And what Man City, I mean, I know we talk about 115 charges, but to win 6 out of 7 leagues, a trouble last year, and potentially a double this year, and to keep that motivation factor. That's the other impressive thing here too, right? The fact that those players are still hungry to keep winning. That's just a different mentality level. It's almost like Jordan and the Bulls-esque, that constant monster mentality. Tom Brady. I mean, we can multiple sports references with this, but yeah, Arteta's done a good job. I mean, he's learned on the job. The other argument becomes, should you have hired a manager need to learn on the job? But if you look at where Arsenal was in 2018, they kind of needed a major reset.
Yeah. Of course, it's a rehaul. Absolute rehaul.
Yeah, and you brought in some players that didn't work out. Nicolas Pepe is one of them. It just didn't work out. It happened.
No. Yeah.
You know, but the teams, they're better off now. I mean, look, you got Declan Rice to come to this club. I mean, does Declan Rice come if Arteta's not here? I don't know. We don't know.
Definitely not. I think Arteta was very much the person who, you know, did a lot of persuading with him.
Yeah.
Definitely. But that assembled comment right there, that's the same they said last season.
Yeah.
They said the same thing last
every year.
season.
Every year we hear that.
Yeah. You know what? And the problem is, if you look at these, like Newcastle was up last season and then dip. So you're telling me they're going to go up and down and up again? You know, I think that team is on their way up. They're players away though. They're players away. United, I don't know what they are right now. I think they're players and manager away. Chelsea, they've got a lot of talent. Whether it works together, that depends on their manager. Right? So there's too many questions on all of those sides.
Chelsea are far away from competing for anything.
Yeah.
Because they just don't have the setup that's there to do it. They don't have the players that are good enough, and they don't have the setup that's good enough. The same with Manchester United. Just don't have the setup. They really don't. They need a complete overhaul.
Every player too.
This is why people get blocked.
So listen here, though, with United, for example, United is definitely 11 different individuals. I mean, I'll give you like my little rant about United. Like, I look at Anthony, Coventry City, you know, out of a penalty shootout, Anthony puts his hands under his ears, right? And then you got Maguire over here, you know, at least acting like a gentleman about it, representing his club. And they got just nothing but individuals. And Holland and Rossman Holland scoring this goal and no one goes to celebrate. So it's just a weird, I don't know what's going on here. Everybody's laughing, giggling. And
I was watching Mr. Tom sleep, so I just wanted to put him on the big screen.
Oh, he was just praying. That's all he was
doing.
He
was praying. Sorry. What are you praying for, Mr. Tom?
Yeah, praying for sleep.
But needless to say, like,
I didn't sleep any all last night. Sorry, Spencer.
Oh, you're good. Every year we hear the same things. United will be better. Liverpool will be better. Chelsea will be better. Mm-hmm. And all we're hearing is hope. We're not seeing actual actions. So, I mean, who knows? Arne Slot could come into Liverpool next year and kick on right where Jurgen Klopp was at. But is Salah going to be there? Is Van Dijk going to be there? The players that went there to go play for Klopp, are they going to play for Arne Slot? So, I mean, we'll see what happens.
They need new players. They need different players to achieve what they want to achieve. Then you got Newcastle. Everyone's like, "Oh, Newcastle, that's it. Now they're going to be the next Manchester City because they've got all that Saudi money back there." That Saudi money is there in the back there in reserve. At the moment, it's not being used. You know, they've got Eddie Howe, who's a decent manager. You know, they've got a few decent players. Most of the squad at Newcastle isn't very good. I'm sorry, it's just not very. It's not very good. So so what Eddie Howe is doing with that squad is actually pretty good. I think he's getting a lot out of that squad. But they're going to need if Newcastle are going to go from where they are now to competing for the league, they're going to need a whole overhaul. They're going to need 6-7 new players who are going to come in and elevate their team immediately, and it's just not going to happen.
It's just hard to have. It's like saying we need 8 to 9 different players. Like there's a want to have that much, but I mean, you can move that amount of players in FIFA. You can move that amount of players in Football Manager, but in the real world, we just can't do it. Yeah. I mean, realistically, with this team next season for transfers, let's just go hypothetical. We could potentially bring in a right winger. We could potentially bring in another box-to-box midfielder. That wouldn't be hard. and you could probably bring in a fullback and a backup keeper. That's a realistic window right there, and probably for about 150 million altogether. Because you're going to sell Ramsdale, you're potentially going to sell Reese Nelson.
Yeah.
Other players.
There's 9 players we can sell, and I don't think we would see a drop off in our performances and our form right now, because either they're not playing or we need to improve on them anyways, because we need to push them further down the bench, which means they should be on the way out. So I think, we got that. I mean, if Arsenal right now, were like, for me, Arsenal they've done more than enough. Like if I'm going to go to the end of the season, no matter what happens from here on out, they've set themselves up pretty well for the next season, right? I don't like to think that far out, but if we're going to do that, Arsenal's done enough this season for me to go. We need to just build on it for next when it comes, right? Players need to be brought in as soon as possible, of course. But no, I don't know what you guys think, but I think Arsenal's done enough this season to show me that, that bringing some more players will be fine. If they don't bring in new players, then yes, that's going to be a problem. But that's all they need right now.
I agree with that. I'm good enough.
I think Newcastle ain't winning shit with the Longstaff brothers.
The Longstaff brothers.
Yeah. Exactly.
The Ginger Longstaff and the other one.
Exactly. They're not very good.
Yeah. No, I mean, all those teams that are below the bottom, or the top 3, they all have something about them that's not going to happen in one season, right? Because they'll just be going through the same things we did last season, where they might be able to compete on one front, but we can't even compete on 4 right now, right? It's not that easy. It's not that easy.
Everyone's so scared about, the billions and billions and billions that Newcastle have behind them in that, who owns them. Yeah, okay. They've got all that money there. But at the end of the day, you've got to turn that into something.
Yeah.
And that's much more easier said than done. You've got to have the right setup. You can't. It's not FIFA. It's not Football Manager. You can't just go out and buy Mbappe. You can't just go out and buy Haaland. You can't just go out and buy fucking, Camavinga. It's a process. The players have to fit Newcastle. Want to play for Newcastle. It's a whole process, and they've got to have the right setup. They've got to have the coaching staff. They've got to have the management. You've got to remember, it's not just a manager. It's also a whole set of coaching staff as well, all doing different things.
And that's why the Pep argument, giving him credit, I think matters too, because they have the money, and sure, they've cheated the system back in the day, but he still had to put that team out tactically and do what he had to do. It doesn't mean I'm approving of what they've done. It's hard to win. Like, I mean, Gary, you and I watch multiple sports. Winning, and I'm not using context when I say this. I just feel that some people think winning in football is so easy. It's just an easy button, and that's not how life works.
Yeah.
You don't choose when you suck, and you don't choose when you're good, but you can have an impact on your mentality, and that's where the manager comes in, and have to have talented players. Like, it's like the stars align. The NFL draft, for example, Caleb Williams, number 1 overall pick. Great. He has to have talent. He has to have a good culture he has to go to. He has to want to be good, and he has to have good coaching. If those 4 things don't align, he's going to be a bust. But it doesn't mean he's actually a bust. It just means that it didn't work out there. So,
no, you know what? I think the top teams make it look easy, but it isn't easy. It isn't easy to do it one time, much less to maintain that, right?
Yeah.
Real Madrid has gone through a little change over the last number of years, right? All the players they used to have to the players they have now. It takes a lot of work to make sure you pick the right players to fit your system over and over.
Real Madrid haven't been able to invest the same amount of money in the last 2 or 3 seasons as they would like to have done, because they've had to finish off doing that stadium. They've had to put a lot of time and investment in that stadium they've got. But now Real Madrid, you'll see they'll start coming now. The next couple of seasons, they'll start coming back.
Yeah.
But they've got a lot of good talent as well. That's the thing with Real Madrid. People forget that they haven't got the same prolific academy that Barcelona has, but they've still got a good academy at Real Madrid.
Yep. I hear that. And I don't
Going
want
out and
to get back. I
buying the
don't
best
want to
young
get back.
Brazilian available is certainly a strategy.
Yeah, they got that. They got Vinicius Junior. I mean, that squad they've got potentially next season. Like they're saying, that new Brazilian kid, Vinicius Junior, Mbappe, Camavinga, Tchouameni, Alfonso Davies. I mean, it's just mind-boggling, that squad they've got.
Yep. And then they go and ruin it all by supplementing it with a Birmingham accent.
And they got Bellingham, he's the jewel in the crown. He's the Birmingham jewel in the crown.
Yeah.
All that exotic play. And then he sits again, all right, kid.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Oh, go from Birmingham.
All right, it's been over 2 hours, folks. I think I'll let everybody have their say. And we'll let everybody, Mr. Tom, I mean, he's been resting his voice a little bit, but we'll let him rest up in preparation for the Leeds. What, next match? They only have one left. Is that right?
Yeah.
One left. And yeah. All right, so let everybody have their say, and then we'll get out of here. Spencer, what say you?
Happy Saturday. Enjoy. Tomorrow's a big day. Hopefully by this time tomorrow we'll be in a good mood. Shout out to the Avalanche. Beat the Jets last night, up 2-1 in the series. Bo Nix, quarterback for the Broncos. Life's good. No complaints.
Cool. Sam?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to you guys. Always good fun being on with you guys. Thanks, Gary, for having me on. I say thanks to everyone in the chat. Always a good laugh with you guys in the chat, taking part, helping us out with a bit of banter and a bit of back and forth. Always good fun. Yeah, let's hope we beat the scum tomorrow. Put our title race right back in there in the face of Man City. You know, force some pressure onto them, and that would be fantastic. And I hope everyone has a great Saturday, great rest of your weekend, and I hope everyone has a delightful afternoon.
Cool. Mr. Tom?
The word humanitarian has many meanings, but I want to pay tribute to the greatest humanitarian of all time. The sheer selflessness of Roman Reigns to remove himself from the WWE draft 10 minutes before it started, just so someone else would have the opportunity to be the number one pick, was sheer selflessness. And I was so proud of him. He's the greatest champion ever. And enjoy your time off, sir, my tribal chief.
There you go. And thank you, everybody, for joining us, Mr. Tom, Spencer, and last but not least, Sam. Thanks for joining me on. I know we had a lot of fun doing this. We'll do this again. We'll do this again every weekend if we can. So we shall see how this goes next week. What is it? Hopefully, we're talking about. I don't know when we play on Saturday, but hopefully, we're talking about another good week for Arsenal, and we'll see where we stand when that time comes. But thank you for joining us. Hit the likes, subscribe, and all that. Check out the replays if you missed the beginning, and we'll be back. All right, it's time for everybody to say bye-bye. We'll see you guys
next week.
You got the early kickoff, so yeah, we'll be talking. We're going to talk about Arsenal football when it comes back. So cool.
Gary, it's all early kickoffs. The championship, all the kickoffs are at 12:30 in the UK as well. So
there you go.
You kick off the same time as Leeds versus Southampton.
Oh man, so how am I going to choose what to watch?
Well, no, I mean more in the context of I think they should just cancel Leeds versus Southampton because there'd be a more pointless game.
It's important. You don't know what could happen. You might get what you want.
Ipswich could lose their next 3. You never know.
There you go. But thank you guys. We'll see you guys on the next one. Arsenal will have played 2 games by then. Hopefully 6 points is in the bag. We shall see. And we're out.
Life is a journey. Don't wait your turn. Enjoy the ride.